Rocks thrown at police and 4 people arrested.
Mark one of the biggest law and order disturbances Sydney has seen. 4 nights of running battles between Macquarie Fields Housing Commission tenants and police after...
Jesse, how are you, bro?
Good, bro.
How you been? Thanks for coming, bro.
Yeah,
you came here with Nathan. That was a good pod. Welcome back, bro. We want to hear your story, man.
Yeah, no
you got a wild story, bro.
Yeah.
It'd be a good story to cover, man. That was something that I remembered, man, the Macquarie Fields riots. That was 2005, eh?
Yeah, 2005. Long time ago now.
It's an interesting story, bro.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? The whole thing. I remember because from the outside we heard it, we're like, fuck, that's some crazy shit, man.
Yeah.
That happened at night, eh?
Yeah. The accident or
The actual riot.
the riot, yeah. Yeah, it happened about 8:30 at night, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, 8:30.
Yeah,
I remember,
That's
man.
when it kicked off anyway.
Yeah, well, that's when I seen all the cop cars. I go, oh, fuck, all these cop cars going that way, man. Fucking
Yeah.
bang, bang, choppers, everything going down that way.
Yeah.
So you were part of that incident.
Yeah, I was, bro. I was, yeah.
What actually happened, man? What's your story of what happened, if you're comfortable with saying it, man?
So, look, a quick rundown was probably we in a hottie that night. Me and Matthew Robertson, Dylan Raywood. There was another hottie as well that night, which my cousin Thomas, and I won't say the other boys' names, but there was another hottie that night. And yeah, so I ended up copping a police chase, and I ended up losing it in the police chase. I clipped the island, lost control, and hit a tree. Yeah, and yeah, that's the story of that. And then after that, what happened was I went on the lamb sort of thing. So I jumped out, ran. Like I didn't stop to see whether the boys were alive or not, because I didn't. Like it's not your natural instinct to think that.
It's the heat of the moment.
Heat of the moment.
Yeah,
You
like
just keep
so.
running, yeah.
I didn't even know we were in an accident, to be honest with you. I thought we hit a gutter. Didn't know we hit a tree. And I legged it, hit a few fences. I got home and just seen everybody's faces, and it sort of didn't kick in. I had to get a mate to go up there and check what was going on, and he come back and he was in tears, and I just dropped on my knees, and I was like, because they were my best mates, you know. And yeah, and then what happened was the coppers left the boys in the car for 8 hours, and you're in the main street of Macquarie Fields. I didn't know what they think was going to happen, but they're from that area. A lot of boys knew them, a lot of boys loved them, and when boys approached the car to ask them what was going on, they just didn't have any empathy and shit like that for them. And that's, yeah, so that's basically why the riots kicked off, I think, you know.
How old were you at that time, bro?
I was 20 years old, eh? I was 20. Yeah.
Around, man.
So there was 8 hours inside the car.
Yeah, they left them for 8 hours to do their investigation and that.
Oh yeah.
But the problem was when they're doing their investigation, like they didn't know how to talk to the community and stuff like that. So
that's why it kicked off.
one person throws rocks, and then you know what it's like.
Yeah.
Everybody gets involved, and next minute you got 200 people ready to kill cunts.
And it was a rough area.
Yeah.
It was a rough
Fuck
area.
was on then, eh?
Where did you grow up? Just tell us a bit about yourself, bro. Like, where were you? Did you grow up in Macquarie Fields as well? And
Yeah, so
like, how was your upbringing as well, bro? Like,
look, my upbringing was pretty much standard Aussie family. Drunk, like my mum and dad, like not dissing them and that, but my mum and dad were drunks, you know, same with my uncles, parties every weekends, fights, shit like that. You know, uncles were earning, you know, shit, and uncles are pretty much, you know, dragged me into that life, because they were, you know, when you're a kid, you look up to people, like,
Yeah.
100%.
you look up to your uncles, and you know, I used to see them come in cash, this, that, and I used to think, oh, fuck, I want to be like that, you know, and Uncle Rob would have all the girls and whatever else. So yeah, I ended up just becoming their puppet when I was young. And then, but look, I grew up in Eds to start with, and from Eds, I lived there for about 8 years. And then when I got a little bit more mature, when I was about 12, 13, I moved into my nan's, because I could really get away with whatever I wanted there. And that's where I went down that path of, because before I moved to Macquarie Fields, I was just a kid that used to ride his pushy around, do his thing, you know. And even though I had my uncles that I looked up to, I wasn't near him over in Heads because they were from Macquarie Fields.
Yeah.
So when I went to Macquarie Fields, I was finally near him, and and that's when they got me into the weed and the speed, and then you know just went heavier and heavier sort of thing.
Kind of went down a spiral, yeah, bro.
Yeah. But look, growing up in Macquarie Fields is just it's pretty much standard, mate. Doing crime, caddies, robberies, home invasions. That was standard. I grew up with that shit, fighting every weekend. You know what I mean? Like that's. Yeah.
Was that easy money, quick money, and it was just that environment you're in, yeah?
Yeah. Look, I wasn't as bad as some of the boys around there. I used to just like sell a bit of weed and do it earn here and there. Like because I used to get on the gas, I couldn't help myself. I used to go out with the boys and that.
Yeah.
So in my situation was when the boys had the accident was that I only used to go earning when Matty was around. So he went my best mate. When he'd come, like when he'd get out of jail anyways, he was always in boys' homes. And but yeah, I used to just sell weed. And that was my thing. And I used to do like the odd, robbery or whatever. But just not like the other boys. I was more slow at that. Like I wasn't slow with it, but
You were doing your own thing, kind of.
yeah, I was doing my own thing.
Yeah.
But my house was central. My house was central in Macquarie Fields. That was the problem,
Because I've realised Mac Fields has, Macquarie
Everyone
Fields
comes
has
to your
like,
house, huh?
Yeah, everybody.
but Macquarie Fields has like two sides.
Yeah,
There's like a bit of the rough side,
yeah,
and then there's a side near the station where it's a little bit more,
yeah.
it's a bit more calmer. You see it. There's a big difference when you go past that Glen Quarry.
Yeah.
It's like a borderline. It's like a whole new world, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
They're the ones who, this side of Macquarie Fields robs that side. Nah. No, that doesn't happen. And shit.
I got some cousins that live in Macquarie Fields out on that side.
On that
I
side,
remember,
the
I
rough
remember
side?
coming like from my area to there for the first time. I was like, "Fuck, where the hell is this place?"
Yeah, it's
because
rough.
because we're from
It's rough,
Punchbowl
bro,
area,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it was a bit different out here. But I like the area because I used to always go there for like Sunday barbecues, a thing, and fuck, everyone was pretty cool. Like
Yeah,
as a young kid, as a young kid.
overall, it would have been a rough area, but it was a nice.
Yeah, bro, yeah.
like, there was
I
good
loved
people
it.
there. Yeah,
Because everyone knows each other.
Yes.
Hey, you know.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Yeah, look, man, I wouldn't have my memories that I have from my childhood, like with my friends, anyways, are gold to me.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
It's always
fair
like that,
enough,
bro.
Yeah,
So now you've grown up in these rough areas.
yeah,
I want to get to that night a little bit. Just see if you can get into a bit of detail.
yeah,
Obviously, you guys were. This car was like a stolen car, right?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys are jumping in. You were young guys.
yeah, yeah.
And how did the police catch you? Like, what's your story with this?
So,
Like, how was it?
So we were under investigation for robberies and whatever else, and they end up like bugging my house, audio and visual in the house, and then on the night of the accident, look, I have no doubt in my mind that the police knew. Look, I can't say for sure. Like, obviously, I don't want to.
Just an opinion. It's just
it's
your
my
opinion.
They knew that we're going to the stolen car that night because.
You had a feeling. Right?
Yeah, look, I didn't have a feeling. I knew my house was bugged because of the way they raided my house. But I used to even have signs up in my house to not talk about anything because if you do, you probably get pinched.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, that night when me, Dylan, and Maddie and all the other boys went to the two stolen cars, the coppers don't know, but there was two hotties that night. And we go to the car, and as soon as we get in the car, the street across the road, a set of headlights come on, and like me, Maddie and Dylan straight away got a bad feeling, but it was already too late, we're in the car. So anyways, we mailed the boys through the window. We come out the street first, then my cousin and the other boys come out the street, and then the copper come out of that street, and then straight away put his sirens on. So I'm in front, then my cousin's in the hottie behind me, and then you got the coppers behind him. Well, when they put the sirens on, my cousin just punched it. He's in a older Model Ford shitbox, but he's sideways around the corner. As soon as they put the sirens on, didn't even blink at it. They followed my car. My car was a brand new VY, and it was 2 weeks old. Like the boys had it for 2 weeks, and so
So it punched, no?
Yeah, hey.
It like it went hard, no?
Yeah. Look, it was a good car, and but look, the accident didn't even last 30 seconds, man. Like, as soon as so my cousin fishtailed it, they didn't even bother with him. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I do know why, because they were after me and Maddie. They wanted me and Maddie, and they were pretty intent on getting us. And anyways, I turned left onto Rosewood, and then right onto Eucalyptus, and then I hit the bend, come around the bend up the top there, and I just clipped the island, and the car lost control. But yeah, look, everybody was speculating that the coppers ran me, this and that, and even on the bug when they put it on the news at the time when they finally got the balls to come out and say it was me, because they didn't want to ruin their investigation.
Yeah.
I reported for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they knew I was the driver for them 2 days. They could have arrested me.
Yeah, 100%.
But they never did.
Wow.
Yeah, and so yeah, I clipped the island, and I hit the tree, and I jumped out and just ran. I didn't stop. Like if in hindsight, mate, if I could have got any more moments with my mates, I'd do it in a heartbeat. You know,
100%.
I never would have left. Anyone who knows me knows that wouldn't have been the case. You know,
Yeah.
You'd have stayed back for sure.
yeah, without a doubt. Like, it's one of them things. You know, only I'm ever gonna know that, and nobody else will really know the truth except me.
Yeah.
And people are gonna speculate about it, but yeah.
Especially when you're in that, like you hit a tree, you're pulling a chase. The first thing you do, like, you just jump out of the car and run. You know?
Yeah, I'm thinking they're doing the same.
And knowing that, like, if it's a real major crash, you'd know you probably won't even be able to get out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the fact is that you got out, you know, all right, sweet, everyone's all right, and you're all decided.
Yeah.
Like, you're thinking, bang, everyone's going to do the runner.
Yeah.
And we'll catch up later or something.
Well, you
fair enough.
got to think. I walked out of the accident with not a scratch. Not one scratch.
Okay.
And look, I didn't even know that we'd actually hit hit a tree. I thought we might have hit a gutter or a fence, but like I didn't even know we hit a tree until later on, you know. But that's pretty much the lead up. But look, coppers, my opinion is they sort of entrapped us in that situation. I'm not scared to say it. I will say it because that's my opinion on it.
Well, what makes you say that?
Well, because when I jumped in the car, like so, for instance, if you're a copper, the law is if they come across a stolen car, the first thing they got to do is roll it up on the back of a tow truck, get rid of it, or they can bug it. That's what they're allowed to do. That's the law. You can't wait for them to get in it and then chase them to death, you know, like, because they know that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to punch it till they get away. You know what I mean? But that's the law. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't just wait for him to get in and then chase.
Yeah.
You know, and afterwards, the two coppers that were driving, this is what dirtied me up, because they got on the TV and they got on TV and goes, oh look, you know, we're distraught, this and that. We can't believe the driver at 123. And look, I'm sitting back at that time. I didn't care. All I was thinking about was my boys that had just gone and shit. But as the years went on, it ate me.
Yeah,
it really did, because look, me, them, and the other boys in the other hottie know what happened that night. And look, I tried to fight it in an inquest, and I got shut down by the judge, shut in my solicitor. We tried to fight it at the boys' inquest, but I pretty much got shut down on that. But but that's why I think that
fair enough.
You know, I know I saw them in the street. I know they were sitting there waiting for me, and I got no doubt in my mind on that. And
fair enough. But just quickly back to that, when you found out what happened with your mates. Obviously, you went there at the scene, whatever. What was going through your mind, bro? Like, these are your mates. You've seen them as brothers, you've just said.
So,
what was your reaction when...
The first person I saw coming up the street was Dylan's dad. Dylan was the youngest bloke in the car, Dylan Raywood. He was only 17. I grew up with him my whole life. this is but his dad was the first person I saw, and I'm walking up the street, and he said a couple of words to me. I don't want to say what he said, but he said a couple of words to me, and he wasn't upset with me. He knew I was the driver. He wasn't upset with me. He knew the life that he lived and that we lived together. But I didn't believe him when he told me that they were dead. He did tell me, he goes, look, the boys are dead, and I didn't believe him, and I brushed him off, and I walked up to my house. He was only just near my house, and I walked in. Everyone was in tears because this was nearly 40 minutes to an hour later. Because I was in the bush legging it, thinking I'm getting chased.
So it's still fresh, like this is.
Fresh. Yeah. So I didn't even know that they'd have been hurt. Nothing. So when I come up the street and one of my best mates' dads come up to me and goes, look, they're dead, and he's in tears. What do you do? Like I brushed him off. Like it was a joke, because to me it was a joke. I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
I walked into the house, seen him all night, and I'm like, no, it can't be true. Like I just left. I was just with him. Like I just saw him with my own eyes. I was with, and I couldn't accept that. But and I go into the house and everybody's in tears, as I was saying, and I get my mate to ride down to the accident as soon as he's coming back. I already knew. That's when I just broke down, and I knew that my life was fucked. I knew that my life was fucked, and I fucked their lives too. Yeah. Instant.
Like regret.
Oh, with like every emotion under the sun. Like I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to. I felt so many emotions that I'd never felt before. It's not funny, and I didn't know how to deal with that either, at that time.
I was looking up, because I did search your name up.
Yeah.
And I think one of the, I don't know if these are your words.
Yeah.
But it said, I got a life sentence for myself. I just killed my two best mates, and I have to live with that forever.
Yeah, that was with
I think it was Channel 7?
Yeah, Rob Navadia.
Yeah.
He's actually a good bloke, Rob, but yeah.
Yeah,
and that's true.
Yeah, man.
Look, the coppers I'd get out of jail. I was still a bit of a menace then, and I'd get out, they'd still harass me, and stuff like that, and that's why I'd done the interview. Like he asked me if I wanted my say, and he persuaded me anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably the truest words I could have said to him.
Yeah. Even just reading those words, it kind of like think, fuck, like just putting myself in that situation, fuck, how would you feel? Because now your two best mates are gone, or out of something, but it's hard, bro, to go through something like that,
Mate.
Did you have support from their families and that? Like, were everyone all sweet with you, or was it a little bit?
Dylan's family was good with me. His dad, like as I said, I come up the street, and he was the first one to break the news to me and tell me that he understood, like that, he understood, because that was the life that we lived. But Matty's family, my best mate, his family was pretty upset with me, which I understand. Look, I understand that. I can't be angry at them for being angry at me. That's like, what do you?
Just a fucked up situation.
It is
straight
like
out, bro.
Oh well, I've never really tried to reach out to them and stuff like that. They, I know there's hate towards me, but I would love to let them know, how sorry I am. But yeah.
It's pretty deep, man. So now at these riots, bro. Did you see him, or at this time you were charged, you were inside, you were taken away, you were hearing things?
That night, my auntie come to me, she goes, the coppers rammed you, and this is what was on the news, and I said, no, I just lost it, and look, the night went on, everyone was upset, and I went to bed, like probably about 6 o'clock in the morning, because I'd been up for 3 or 4 days, and they made, like my auntie and my family made me sleep. I went to sleep. The next morning I woke up and I had a couple of hundred, like this was after them riots at the car, I was there then. So when we went to the, like as I said, when my mate come back, I walked up to the car with him, and as I said, the coppers had no empathy for anyone.
Anyone, no.
And or for them or anything, and look, there's no regrets there, no regrets at all, mate, that night, because look, it's like on that perspective of it, because I think the coppers could have dealt with it way better.
Way better, yeah.
Yeah,
for
and-
sure, bro.
But yeah, I got home the next morning, man. I went to bed the next morning. I got a couple hundred people in my front yard with my cousin Thomas, leading the charge. You know, fucking they're all pissed, ready to kill cunts.
Yeah,
Sorry,
fucking-
my language. But
No, yeah, fucking
That's
enough,
right.
yeah.
It's just like it was just high, like everyone's running high on emotions.
Yeah.
yeah, mate, it was
That's
bad.
what it was.
My cousin even
Check that.
they lit a hottie on fire across the road from my house, and my cousin was ready to drive it into the cops, you know, on the front line down there. But the boys had to drag him out. They had to bring fire brigade and stuff like that, and they wouldn't even let the fire brigade in. Fire brigade, ambulance, buses, cars. No one could get through the streets because nobody there. No, like they weren't. It was only people getting targeted was the coppers. But yeah, cars were just getting turned around by the boys and that, you know.
Yeah, go another way, eh?
Yeah, so look, it was like a line. It was like two lines. It was like a line up near my house of about a couple hundred boys, and down the bottom of Rosewood, there was like hundreds of coppers, hundreds. And yeah, and it was just, they slowly met. And look, the first day I was there, and we're, you know, launching, you know, I didn't get done for the riot, so I don't like to talk.
Oh, okay.
No, we won't talk about that.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but
Just things that you heard and
so but yeah, that's how it happened. Look, and mate, it continued on for 4 days.
yeah, I heard, bro. That
4
was.
days, man.
I think it hit like nationwide or like
Yeah,
it hit
man.
worldwide.
Yeah.
A riot in a suburb, in
Yeah.
Australia, and that. Yeah, it was big, man.
That's a big effort, bro.
That's
Yeah,
massive.
4 days,
That's it.
bro.
Big effort.
That's yeah.
Especially the photos you see, it was like something coming out of America, bro.
Yeah.
So
what
way
the-
it was, man.
How the coppers got them was that, like during the night when the boy or during the day when the boys went to bed, and the coppers would get around on horse and this and that, and then go to one or two houses that they know because they could see through they got the footage from Channel 9.
Yeah.
And then they were picking off the boys one by one, and then taking them out of the houses with like, you know, unbelievable, like no,
Just force, just,
Yeah, just-
dragging them out.
kids in the house, doesn't matter, guns drawn, dragging cunts out, bashing them, whatever, leashing the dogs on them.
Well,
Which look, I understand they've got to put the, you know,
Yeah,
they got to try and stop it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, they had a job, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty rough.
yeah, it is.
That was rough, man.
And that continued on for 4 days until like all the main players were pretty much gone. But look, on the second day, so I actually reported the next day after the riots, after the accident. I went down to the cop shop, I reported. They knew I was the driver, but obviously they had an investigation going, and they didn't want to compromise that investigation because, I don't know, for reasons of theirs. Also reported the day after that. On the third day, I would have went and reported as well. But I woke up that next morning and my face was plastered all over the news saying Kelly was the driver of the car, 1, 2, 3, this and that.
Oh.
Like they just kept quiet about it. I would have went and reported, and I never would have went on the run for 2 weeks. And they would have never had all them dramas looking for me and stuff like that, you know. And
Okay.
Was that because you seen your name all over the news? You're like, fuck this, I
Yeah.
gotta go.
Yeah, I got a really close mate to come and get me. He threw me in the boot of the car, and he got pulled over and everything, but because you couldn't get into Macquarie Fields or out of Macquarie Fields without your car getting searched.
Yeah.
It was full lockdown. Like it was like a jail at that stage, you know.
It's crazy, yeah.
For a whole
mate,
suburb,
Nuts,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah,
The whole
yeah.
suburb, man.
You had coppers riding around, you know, in lines on horseback and that, you know what I mean? And so it was pretty crazy. Yeah.
So what was after those 2 weeks? Like now you got done.
So I end up, after them 2 weeks, I end up handing myself in, and I went to jail, and I really kicked off, you know. I ended up getting 9 years with 6.5 on the bottom. I pretty much served a lot. I pretty much served all of it. I ended up serving probably. Sorry, it was an 8.5 year sentence. It was 6.5 on the bottom, and I pretty much served the 8 of that. Yeah,
So it's a big whack.
That's a big load.
Yeah.
It's almost a decade, man.
Yeah.
yeah, and like as Pato said on the show, you know, went to jail, and I was only young then. I'd never been to jail. I'd only done 1 day in boys' home, which is a bad experience in itself.
How was it like your first time going into
jail? I had no. So what happened? Because as you know, they had 150 boys at that stage get locked up from the riots.
Yeah.
So what they done was to keep me away from them. They put me in the boneyard.
Seriously?
They put me straight into protection, and I had no say in it. I had no say in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I had good boys in the main going in the back for me, going, look, he's done nothing wrong. It's his first time in jail. He doesn't deserve to be there. And I'd put form in after form in after form, but nothing ever come from it until I end up going back to jail. I got out after that 6 years and then went to the main.
Fuck.
Yeah. So after spending 6 years in the boneyard, I ended up getting out and then coming back, and then I went to the main and then had my run,
Yeah.
What was their reason why they, this first stint, why they go, we'll just put you into the boneyard, whatever?
So,
was it a safety reason or?
So the thing was, when I got locked up, they explained me for starting the riots. So which was pretty much the reason why it happened, was pretty much because of the accident. But
Yeah.
because of the way I was wanted by police and that, and they thought that I had a lot of power with like a lot of boys that got locked up, and they just wanted to keep me away from them. They didn't want me to be with them because they thought that they'd have that same sort of trouble in jail.
In jail, yeah.
So the easiest thing for them to do was to put me in protection, which was unfair.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Because I've heard, like, when there's this type of boneyard, and I know a lot of people say it now just out of nowhere, like there's no meaning behind it anymore. But there's these certain things of, like, when they say people do this, people do that, a boneyard and main and all this stuff, how does that work? Like,
there's no difference now, bro. Look, I'll tell you now, boys will argue the point. The only difference is, look, so, mate, I've spent, mate, time in the boneyard, time in the main. I could tell you right now, the boneyard's more hectic than the main. Like, I've seen, look, bro, you got your back, out in the main, like, so everyone that comes to the boneyard has been got.
Yes.
They've been stabbed. They've been bashed. They've been this and that. They've been put in that situation. So when they've been put in that situation, they know the next time it's for real,
Yeah.
And that's what, like, I've seen heaps of boys, in jail get stabbed, and more than, like, I never got seen anyone get stabbed in the main, never. Like, I know it's happened, but in the time I was there, it never happened, and yeah.
So there was more boys getting shanked in.
Yeah, bro.
In
getting attacked and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
it was,
and you done 6 years there.
Yeah, 6 years.
And this was for this charge.
Just for this charge.
And then what, you got off now.
Yeah.
So that 6 years before anything. So that 6 years you done it was tough.
Yeah. Look,
you had it rough. And you had like
boys,
you had connections, or you had like communication with boys that were in the main, and you had all this.
But I used to get, like, honestly, when I first went to jail, in the first week of jail, I probably got 100 letters from people. And it was spinning me out. Like, I was getting fan mail. I'm thinking, fucking fan mail. Like, I had a half a Mullawai writing to me.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's mad.
But I had, like, a lot of boys that were in the riots writing to me, telling me what's going on. Jess, where are ya? What have they done to ya? They were worried about me and stuff like that. And I used to yell out to the boys from where I was, and we used to communicate. And, like, I used to follow what they were saying. Look, we've spoke to the governor. They've said it's okay. 1, 2, 3. I go do all the paperwork, and it's just a runaround.
Fuck.
And which was fucked, because look, mate, there's nothing worse than being put away from everybody that I knew. So they all the boys, they all got locked. Anyone that was in the riots copped like a maximum was 18 months. So when I went to jail and I had nobody that I knew with me, it was fucked.
Yeah,
it was. It
could have been hard to do your time with like no one there,
Yeah, it was.
By yourself, man.
Yeah,
and you're young as well.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, and I was a kid, and they ruined the course of my life. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man.
I was, I don't know where I would be today if I'd end up in the main. Like, look, the boneyard wasn't that bad. Like, I I had a lot of dramas because I had like that main stigma, even though I've never been there. So I'd always get into fights and that over it because I'd be writing to boys and they'd be yelling out fucking, and I'd be yelling out to them saying, yeah, it's fucking putrid over here, I fucking hate it. When really I didn't even attempt to meet anybody because everybody had their back against the wall from me because like they thought, oh, he's the bloke on the news, he's a fuckwit, this and that. And so there was only a couple of boys that wanted to know me and they were good boys, but you know. Yeah.
And then now, you said that, so now you've done your time, you've come out now.
Yeah.
When you've come out, how were you now? Because you said you've gone back in, but I want that little gap of, how long was that gap before you've gone back in? Like,
so
did you like go back to the area? Or?
Yeah, I ended up doing that, that 6 or 9 years, and then I ended up doing an extra, I think it was an extra 10 years. So I've ended up doing about 16 and a half years jail.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you've come out now out of jail the first time, you've gone back to see family, see your mate's family, see what it is.
Yeah.
How are you feeling at this time? Are you still affected?
100%.
Have you got any addictions that you came off like from jail or anything? Did something affect you on that or?
So when I went to jail, all I was doing was smoking weed and using gas. Wow. I come out and I was end up on the bube. I used methadone. I end up I end up a bad junkie like you do in jail.
That was from the first stint.
Yeah, that was from the first stint. Look, I held off for a couple of years on the bube and that because I used to get on with the weed and that. I used to get on the visits and that. And so the weed held me over and stuff like that. Once my visit stopped, because people start to die off, after a while. And that's what happened. People died off, and I ended up having to turn to heavier drugs to deal with my depression and stuff, to deal with my anxiety, because I never stopped going through it. I cried every night for like a year over it. Only reason I didn't kill myself was because I had a daughter. You know what I mean? I probably would. I definitely would have. I think if I didn't have her. But So the drugs come.
What was some of the heavier stuff you said that were you started?
Look, I never used. Believe it or not, I never used heroin, but bupamethadone.
They're pretty strong.
They are. It's look, it's I'm still on the bup now. The bup helps me. Look, mate, if everybody in jail had access to the bup program, the jail would have a lot more. How can I say it? Like rehabilitation. The reason
so people will improve.
So now when you go to jail, everybody just starts using needles because the thing is they've taken smokes, they've taken the lighters and stuff like that. So now all the young generation, they didn't have the chance that we had. Like when I went to jail, there was lighters, so we smoked. It was only ever smoking the shit, But now you see jail, it's changed a lot. It's just it's pretty bad, what the system has come to.
I've heard it's a bit future in there at the moment,
It is. It's bad. It's bad, man.
Far out, man. That's crazy. So now, how long were you outside for till you went back in? A year, 2 years?
I was outside after the first time.
Yeah, after the first stint.
3 months.
Well,
I never lasted more than 3 months until the last time I was out.
What was the charge or anything?
So the first time I got done disqualified, actually, I was coming back from the city, and I had my license, but I got done at 0.03 on my P's. You can't have. It was a mouthful of alcohol.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, they sent me to jail for that. They ended up breaching my parole for that. I went in. It was only like 6 weeks, but I got out. But I lost my license, and then I went to jail again for drive while disqualified. And then come out. But I done 12 months for that. My parole, and then I got done again but on that time, I ended up getting 2 years. 20 months. Sorry, I got 20 months for the drive while disqualified.
Fuck, yeah?
Yeah, 20 months I got.
Wow, so that's like 3 years of just because of driving.
Just for driving. And then after that, I went to a bit higher. I went to doing robberies. Ended up doing an armed robbery. And then went to jail for, I think it was 4 years. Yeah. And then on the last one, I ended up getting 3.5 years for doing robbing a dealer, you know. Yeah. So, but that was at that stage I had access to the Butte program when I got out, and I reckon that's probably, and my missus and kids that I just had I found a decent relationship with a person I was in love with, and
champion, bro. But that in and out time that you're doing for 10 years, that was now this is where you're going in the main now.
Yeah.
And you found the main to be a bit more.
Oh, look, the main.
And which jails was it as well? Like which?
Oh, so look, I went to a few jails, bro. I've been to every jail. Been to nearly every jail except probably haven't been to Nowra. And I haven't. There's a few jails I haven't been to, but yeah. Look, the main and the boneyard. There's not much difference, bro. Yeah. As I said, there wasn't much difference except I probably ran into a bit more boys from Macquarie Fields, you know, in Campbelltown area in the main than what I did in the boneyard.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, but look, you do meet some hectic boys in the main. I'm not saying the main's not hectic because it is.
Yeah.
But the problem is in the main, it's a different. Like the hectic is 20 out or 30 out on boys. You know, like you go to a wing and you got you in a rebels wing. You go to a commos wing or you go to the BFL wing. Yeah. Whereas in the boneyard, it's one out. It's one out. It's not. So
you're more by yourself.
And
so you got to be on guard more, right? Like
look, it's in the main, like you get less drama because people don't want to deal with that sort of drama. You know, if you fuck up with one of them, obviously you're fighting everybody.
True.
In the boneyard, there's always fights. There's fights every day. You know, there was fights every day when I was in there, just over shit. And I remember the first time I went to jail and I heard cunts in the cell having a crack, and I was thinking, fuck, man, like the walls were shaking. Like, and I was thinking we're in a brick fucking, and you could hear it, you know. And I was thinking, fuck, man, I got nervous, and I was thinking, fuck, that could be me in there. And sure enough, a couple of months later, it was me in there. Do you know what I mean?
So what about now? Like the main, you all right there? You got along with people. Is that where you've met Nathan now, or what's the go there? Like,
look, Nath was a mad cunt, man. Like when I went to jail, he looked after me from the get go, bro. You know, he mate, I haven't got a bad word to say about Nath, bro. You know,
champion.
Yeah.
So you got along with everyone. Isn't there like certain, like how does it work now? Like there's jails, like there's different types of crews, nashos. Is this how it's working, or it's changed now?
Well, mate, it's all run by gangs.
Yeah, fair enough.
And they split up by nationalities and stuff like that. Like Goulburn, you got Islander yard, Aussie yard, and then you got the Asian yard, and you got your Koori yard and the Levo yard. So it's all segregated sort of thing, like. But then you go to jails like Willow and Nowra and stuff like that, and it's not segregated. Everyone's together.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that new jail, Clarence, they're all together, right?
Yeah, I haven't been there, but apparently it's a hectic jail, bro. You know?
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah.
With iPads and shit. And
Well, what is it, like a high school, some shit, or?
No, it's just like a new jail. It's a brand new jail.
Okay,
nice. Yeah, you get iPads now.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy, bro. You get iPads. You get fucking yeah, bro. It's fucking
They're not smashing it over each other's heads.
Nah, it's just, they're thick enough. They're about that thick. They probably are.
Yeah. So, but now, like, were you still dealing with addiction, bro, in the main?
Yeah, of course. Probably worse because I had to spend more money because I had more boys to look after. Like in the main, you fucking, like in the, at least when you're in the boneyard, you got mates, but it's not, the boneyard's not it's not like fucking everyone's dogs in there either. You get good boys in there, but in the main, like everyone's, like when I went to the bay for the first time, everyone's out in the yard hustling, in front of the screws and shit. And
seriously? Wow.
Yeah. So like it's my addiction was bad in the main, bro.
Now you're doing your time. You've done all your time now. How are you now? Were you still dealing with that problem, bro? Like what happened with the riots when you were doing this second stint?
believe it or not, bro, I haven't really talked about it too much with people.
Yeah.
If people ask me questions, I'll oblige, but I don't really talk about it too much.
Fair enough.
It's not a conversation that, you know, I'm not a really good storyteller either. I don't know how to get, if I want to say something to somebody.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, sometimes.
It's a touchy topic, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
It is. Fuck.
Yeah.
So now, we'll move away from that. So now, like, you've left the second stint, that in and out time what you're doing with jail now.
Yeah.
Now, you've come outside, you're still dealing with addiction.
Yeah.
Was this what it was? How'd you come across now how you are now? Like, what transitioned you, man? Like, was it a wake-up call? Like you said, the program?
Yeah, look, I think it was a combination of things. My cousin Tom, he's dead now, God bless him. He pretty much had a big deal. Like, 'cause I used to look up, I've always looked up to Tom, you know, I always loved him to death. And when I seen that he could do it, and how he lived his family life, I tried to live like similar. And when I got out, I just followed his path. And because I had found a girl that I loved, everything just come together for me at that stage. And I think it was just, I'm like, I was probably 37 or 36 at the time. And look, I thought it was time. You know, I think I matured enough and everything. I wanted to move away from the jail life because pretty much the way jail was. Like, you go, you know, fucking jail, that last stint in jail, fucking, I probably felt more depression than I'd ever have. So, and I didn't do anything to move away from that sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And when I got out and I met my girl and, you know, you could see my cousin was doing it. It was just everything was lined up for me to make a change in my life.
Make a change, yeah, for sure.
Because you know what, like, it's hard to rub, you know, 35 years of a bad life.
Like a rough bring up, like.
Yeah, you can't just rub it out. And yeah, so, but look, I'm still dealing with it. I went back to jail a couple of, so when my cousin died, I've only been out a couple of months now, but I went in for 3 months, just for weed. But yeah, look, I fell back into, you know, a little bit of bad habits, but now I've dragged myself back out of it.
Nice.
But because I've
bro.
done that, I think it's a lot easier for me to move away from it again.
Yeah, that's it.
But I've got a really good support network. That's what it comes down to too.
You got your family. You got kids as well, bro.
Yeah, I got kids.
Yeah.
I just had a daughter. She's 4 months old.
Nice, bro.
Congrats,
bro.
Congrats, bro.
Now you see them, because obviously you're still dealing with, like, obviously there's temptations, right, bro?
Yeah.
How do you overcome that? Is it you look at your kids, you look at your family, you look at a bigger picture, you're like, fuck, I don't want to go back in. Like, obviously you don't want to ever go back in now. Like, enough.
Yeah.
That's enough time you've done, man.
Yeah,
That's some big time. 16 years. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I know.
You know, like, now if there is because, like, I always believe no one's perfect, man. Someone's always fighting their own demons, whether it's an addiction, whether it's any kind of habit, man. It could be anything, you know? And for you, like, now, say you're in the situation, you're at work, something happens, you're with the missus, you got the kids, and this urge comes. How do you just look at your family and, like, fucking, I'll never go there, fuck that. The BUP helps as well, like these programs. How is it? How do you...
First thing I do is I ring the missus and I ask her for permission. She says, fuck no. And that's pretty much how it goes, bro, you know? That's how honestly, that's how it goes, bro.
Hey, happy wife, happy life, isn't
bro,
it?
that's it. Like she comes before everything, my girl, bro, and my family.
That's it,
look, she just seen me go through it when my cousin died. She seen me fall back into it. And look, I fell back into it pretty harder than I ever had, because like you know, he was my last connection to Matt and Dylan, you know, because it was always me, Matt, Tom, and so he was my last connection, and it was so easy for me to fall back into the drug scene. And look, when I went to jail, I come back out clean again. My girl, he's on my back every day about it. You know, you can't go backwards. You know, you got asked. You can't leave us. You can't do that to us again. You know, and I understood that, and I understand that. And you know what? When I got out, I still tried to manipulate her into letting me use drugs and stuff like that. And she put her foot down, and I've I don't know, like probably a month ago, I sort of made that decision to stop thinking about it. And because I knew I was putting pressure back on her. So, I just made the decision to stop ringing her and going, listen, I need drugs, because she's human too. So every time I ring her and say, look, I want to, you know, she's obviously feeling that pressure to say yes to me, because she doesn't want me being sad or depressed.
Yeah, she's worried for you.
But since I made that decision to not ask her and accept it, it's been much better for me. So yeah, and I really don't think I'll go back to it, because my newborn, she's beautiful, you know, and
something to look forward to.
Yeah,
you want to see them grow up and stuff, you know.
Well, look, I'm a crane operator now. I operate cranes for a living.
Good on you, bro.
Yeah,
that's good, bro.
Now, when you look at that and you're working like a good job, because crane operator is a good job,
bro.
man.
Yeah.
Does it ever cross your mind, or is it like a dream? You're like, fuck, man, I've done fucking 15 years.
I spin out, bro. I spin out. I think, how the fuck did I pull this?
Yeah.
Like I think it's just like a lot of boys get out and they become a labourer, but you don't have, like, you just got to have that little bit of drive to go out and get yourself a couple of tickets under your belt.
Yes,
and you know, you make it a little bit. Look, I'm never going to be a millionaire, so all I can do is put food on the table for my family.
Ah, bro, that's not the right attitude, brother. You can be a millionaire, you never know, bro. You might have Jesse Cranes coming out.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say Jesse Cranes, bro.
Anyone out there want to throw me one?
JC's.
Fucking hell. Yeah,
bro, you know what, man? That's a crazy story, man. The whole ride thing. I remember when it happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. Because I heard that on the news. But now to know that after, it's almost 20 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sitting down with the bloke that we all that. It's crazy, man. And it was 20 years ago as well.
It goes a lot deeper than that, eh? I could go right into things and you just spin out maybe another time. But, mate, like, some of the things that the coppers got away with was unbelievable. But
just even the first thing you told us about, you know, the car.
Yeah.
That's a spin out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like they drove like you guys in that.
Yeah. I wish I could say more as well, but you know, that's how they work sometimes, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
Bro, you know what? I'm not gonna keep you too long, bro. But with the way you deal with things now, what's a mad message to the youth? Like, see how you deal with things. There'll be a lot of people out there that are dealing with problems like that, man. Especially with drug addictions, that, man.
So exactly what I said, like, you know, like, I crave for drugs every day. You got to have that support person, I think. I think it's important. Look, if you don't have that, you know, if you're a person out there that's, you know, that doesn't have that family support like I do, my message to you would be to fucking, you know, to reach out to somebody that you don't know even, because sometimes the best advice can come from, you know,
a stranger.
Yeah, that's right. Like,
it's true, man.
You don't need to. I don't know, man. Like, all I did was what I just said before, you know, with my girl and But my message would probably just be stay the fuck off the drugs, eh? Mate,
what about these programs that you're saying? Do these programs actually help, bro?
Nothing.
Like these bupe programs, nothing?
Oh yeah, the bupe and that, mate. That best thing that ever happened to you. If you've got a drug issue, on any type of drug, it doesn't matter what it is. The bupe. So the bupe is not like methadone. It's not like heroin. It's not like any of that. The bupe is in a league of its own. So my doctor tells me that I can live to 90 while I'm on it, and it doesn't affect. Look, it doesn't affect like your daily life at all. A lot of people could look at me and they would never know that I'm on the bupe. I've been on the bupe. I've been on the bupe for nearly 20 years.
Wow.
And I look good. I look better than most times. You know what I mean?
You do.
You actually do, bro.
So
some people out there that look really cooked, eh?
the bupe can be, you know, the bupe can't be that bad, honestly. You know? So if you're struggling that bad, reach out to a doctor, mate. You know.
Yeah.
It's a program from the government, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll help you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so it does help. 20 years. Fuck, I didn't know. All I heard was Butte was like horrible.
Yeah,
So I
nah.
used to always think like it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's someone that's going around jails and that.
Yeah.
But you know, you're giving me this thing that like obviously if it's given from a doctor and you're doing it properly,
Look,
it's there for
you got the bikies and that, they go to jail. They all stay off drugs.
yeah.
Because the problem is a lot of them boys didn't grow up in the ghettos like we did.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I, you know, like, and so I've been a drug addict since I was fucking 12 years old,
Yeah.
11 years old. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
going to jail was always going to happen. And, it does for anyone that comes from my area that use drugs like I did.
Yeah.
They're going down the same path I went down.
Yeah.
The only people in jail that don't, as I said, are usually the money makers,
Yeah.
the real money makers,
The real ones, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because they didn't grow up in the lifestyle that you know, bro. You know,
Yeah,
but
100%.
But most boys that are like me, mate, I'm telling you, go get on the Butte.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Right, man. What do you reckon, man? Should men be a brotherhood these days? Should there be like a society where there should be like a close pact of boys that should look after each other and lift each other up, bro?
Without a
Before I
doubt,
ask you one of these questions, because we're always, you know,
Mate, I'm
pushing for these.
I'm a strong believer in that because look, for me, I sit in my house and I spend time with my family, and that's what I think about. I think about like my relationship, my cousin and things like that. And I think we all get pressure from our missus and stuff like that, just to stay home and to do this and do that, and not go out with the boys and stuff. But yeah, I believe that. I used to run a men's club in jail. You know the men's, what are they? Men's shed. Yeah, for men.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
oh, like a boys like
Yeah.
club. Yeah.
But I'm a big believer in it, bro. You know,
Yeah,
I used to
yeah,
run that.
100%.
That's hectic.
I used to run the men's shed, bro. So I believe in that. Yeah, like
The brotherhood and all of that
You
stuff.
have to,
yeah.
man, because
100%.
us guys won't talk our problems sometimes to women or anyone.
You can't.
And for with the boys, there's that different relationship. Like if you got that brotherhood, you can
Yeah.
speak to them and they'll lift you up. They'll tell you the real answer, not like a buttered up one with emotions. You know,
Yeah.
they'll just tell you like, "Hey, wake the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, well, no.
Pull up." You know what I mean? I think that's really important. Jesse, you got any questions, bro?
No.
That was cracker,
That was a
bro.
cracker story,
That
man.
was cracker, bro. I finally get to meet the guy that actually started that 4-day riot. Jesse, bro, you should do something online, man. Social media.
Yeah, bro.
If you had something,
crack.
you know
I'll
what
have a
I mean?
crack.
Have a crack at it,
We'll
bro.
put your TikTok up anyway on the description
Yeah,
for
bro,
him.
yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Guys, support this channel. Support Jesse.
We'll put his details in the description.
Follow him. He's gonna have some funny shit going on.
Oh yeah, well, bro. If
Yeah.
I get the followers, man, I'll go and do it.
Yeah. All right, bro.
All right, guys. Till next time. So
See you
yeah,
guys.
you know, before anything, can we get a man on top? Men on top.
Men on top.
Oh, legend. See you guys.